Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the sonnets, and today we've got Sonnet 95, which goes, "How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which, like a canker in the fragrant rose, doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose. That tongue that tells the story of thy days, making lascivious comments on thy sport, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise, naming thy name blesses an ill report. Oh, what a mansion have those vices got, which for their habitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth cover every blot, and all things turns to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege. The hardest knife, ill used, doth lose his edge." So to me, this is one that is dripping with sarcasm and a sort of you gotcha, I gotcha-ness to it. He's saying, you can make any bad thing look good. And sort of like Sonnet 94, where it could either be taken at face value or it could be taken to be sarcastic. This one seems to be taking, at least to me, seems to be taking the sarcastic to a much larger extent, saying like, oh, these sins were so smart to take up residence in you because you're so beautiful that they can reside there and still seem to be fine, sort of like a rose that's being devoured by a worm. Anybody who tells a bad story about you is still going to end up sort of praising you because it's you, and it doesn't matter because you're so gorgeous that any bad thing about you looks good. But there is a lot of reference to all of the shame and these vices living within the listener, who, if you want to say that it's the fair youth, and Shakespeare's a little still miffed at this point from maybe being jealous, maybe being forgotten, maybe being overlooked, all of that sort of thing. But then the last two lines is like, be careful that you can turn any bad thing good, because if you abuse that, you're going to lose it. And eventually, people are going to see through it, and they're just going to see the bad instead of the bad masked by the good. So this one to me is very, very pointed and very snarky. But anyway, did it land on you like that? Leave a comment, let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow for Sonnet 96. Mwah.